Hi everyone, welcome to Snack Tactics. Now, every once in a while, I want to share a dessert with you to have in your back pocket for when it's time to raise the stakes. I'm talking about the chocolate souffle. This is a difficult dessert to execute, but worth the effort. So for this traditional chocolate souffle, we're going to need orange juice, sugar, flour, bittersweet dark chocolate, 4 egg yolks, and 8 egg whites. So we're gonna start by making the base of this dessert, which is the custard. And we're starting by heating up the orange juice. We wanna bring this to a boil before we add in the egg yolks and the sugar. I'm gonna add 1/3 of the sugar. The rest we're gonna save for the egg whites. We just wanna mix this up. So we slowly add the flour, maybe just half. You wanna maintain the temperature on very, very low heats. We're making a custard here. Come in with the rest of the flour. Already getting thick, as you can see. We want to cook this for about 2 minutes just to activate that flour. So this comes off the heat. See, it's really sticky. It's really thick. You try to add a couple of the egg yolks, and because this is very hot, you want to mix very fast. You add the rest of the egg yolks. Get that all in there. You want to mix this very fast. We don't want the eggs to cook right away. We want it to become a part of the custard. This is very interesting. We add the chocolate all at once. And this is gonna melt pretty quick. And this is the base of the chocolate souffle. We mix this until the chocolate is completely melted and completely incorporated into this base. What I wanna do now is I wanna cover this with plastic film on top to avoid, we don't wanna get that skin. So we have the chocolate base sitting at room temperature. For the second phase of this dessert is the egg whites. We're gonna add all of the egg whites. The egg whites have been sitting at room temperature as well. We put that on maximum. When you see some bubbles starting to form and the egg whites starting to become white, we're gonna go in with the rest of the sugar that we had reserved from earlier. And we're gonna put that back on max. When we lift this up, they maintain their shape, but it's still kind of soft, right? So that's the perfect texture for these whipped egg whites. So we're ready to finish the souffle, and we're preparing the ramekins. So we have 2 little souffle ramekins here, actually. It's important that you use the proper ramekin, so the straight edges, because that's the traditional souffle. It's not gonna work if you use anything else. You wanna make sure that we're covering every nook and cranny with butter. And what we do at this point is we throw in some sugar. We're gonna toss that around. And this is gonna create that nice crispy outer layer and allow the souffles to not stick to the sides. It's very traditional, very classic method. I wanna empty out these egg whites, and I'm only gonna work with half at a time, half of the chocolate base. And we wanna fold this together. Peel the outside and then incorporate. If you find that the chocolate mixture is a little bit too thick to incorporate with the egg whites, you can always add a little bit of milk or water or orange juice just to thin it back out. The traditional chocolate French souffle asks for orange liqueur, so anything like Grand Marnier or anything like that. Today, we're gonna twist it up a little bit by adding some Cuban rum just to spike this dessert and give it some flash. Go in with the rest of the egg whites. We have the oven set at 425 degrees. This final stage has to happen fast. We don't want the souffle to fall. We want it to get into the oven as quick as possible. I'm gonna place these ramekins on a sheet pan ready to go in the oven, and let's fill these up. So we want it to go almost to the top, not quite. Over there, so you wanna leave like half an inch. These are gonna rise in the oven. Straight into the oven as quick as possible. And we're gonna let those for 12 minutes. We can't open the oven. We're not even gonna look at them. We're gonna let them cook for 12 minutes. Just look at this. So the souffles are puffed right up there. If you touch them, they're kind of like crispy on the outside. That's perfect. These souffles are awesome. So we're gonna let these cool down for a couple minutes. We're gonna come in with a little bit of powdered sugar. Right on top. This is classic.
C'est bon.